Three, two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Ski Podcast. I am Matt Moody, joined by DJ Milchum. Let me try that again because I can't talk right now. All right, three, two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Ski Podcast. I am Matt Moody, joined by DJ Mitchell to cover the Tuesday 11/28 NHL DFS slate. DJ, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. I mean, it's a really long Monday for me, but I'm here now and I'm talking hockey, and I feel very out of the loop on what is going on because I literally been studying all day for a test. So I didn't even make a lineup. So you can tell me about how you're doing.
So Monday night, not good. Sunday, very good. So we'll focus on Sunday. Not really focus on it, but just kind of ignore Monday night. My goalie has negative 1.4, which is pretty impressive. Other than that, just the Pittsburgh chalk worked out for me. No one else did. And yeah, again, I'll just roll up today with Sunday, and I'm up the last 2 days, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you got to do. I barely played this weekend I didn't even play hockey yesterday either. I was like not feeling the best. I had a little bit of the, what do we want to call it? Hungoverness?
Speaking of that, I need you a lineup on Saturday night. Did it do anything? Because I'm pretty sure I played Alec Ovechkin in that lineup.
It missed cashing by 1 point. Like less than 1 point. Yeah. I just let you make a lineup when we were drinking, and yeah.
It was beyond drinking at that point, but yeah, we'll leave it right there.
We'll just leave it. It's not a big deal.
I was just interested to see if you won like $10,000 or anything with Magic.
I was like, oh, I haven't checked. Let me look. What?
Now that you mentioned it. But yeah, anyways, it's been a while since we did a podcast. We've been, obviously I traveled home, DJ traveled home for the Thanksgiving break, and we've been super busy leading up to that. So hopefully things kind of calm down a little bit between now and the Christmas, New Year's type of break. And then from there, we just kind of coast out to the finish of the season. Shouldn't be any more long absences like we had recently. Anything else you wanted to talk about before we go right into the Tuesday slate?
I mean, I know the first game that's coming up, and I already don't want to talk about it. So, no, I have nothing else.
All right. Yeah, so I guess I should have the list of games open. We have a 10-game slate ahead of us, and yeah, it seems like a fun one, unless you're a Buffalo Sabres fan. Excuse me. The 10 games we're looking at are Tampa Bay at Buffalo, Vancouver at the Islanders, Florida at the Rangers, San Jose at Philadelphia. Philadelphia having just played and lost in overtime in Pittsburgh on Monday night, so there's a back-to-back where Philly will be traveling. Carolina at Columbus, LA. Columbus also on a back-to-back where they're playing at home now after a road game. LA at Detroit, Chicago at Nashville. Chicago hitting the road for a home and then road back-to-back. Really interesting how they're doing this. Toronto at Calgary, probably my game of the night. Arizona at Edmonton in the can you believe these guys are this bad bowl? And then Dallas at Vegas. So, yeah, let's just start with Tampa Bay at Buffalo. I think the slate will kind of fake itself out as we get around to them. And then towards the end of the show, we can kind of wrap up with our favorite stacks and our guaranteed goals as always. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first thing of note is that last time Tampa Bay ran 12 forwards, 6 defensemen. I don't know what they'll do next game. That was why Jake Dodson didn't play. Was that why?
That sort of appears, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know he. Yeah, he's been in and out, so that's just something to keep an eye on. But Yeah. I mean, I still like the Tampa Bay side of this game. I mean, Buffalo is a train wreck on defense, and yeah,
Yeah. So Dutchin will be out until at least Saturday. Is what I'm seeing. You know, I don't really think it matters given the matchup against Buffalo, especially on DraftKings in particular. They're not really pricing these Tampa guys like out of the realm of like reasonableness. Like let me say this a different way. Even Stamkos is right in the same ballpark as Tavares, Matthews, and McDavid, and of course they all have their merits, but none of those guys are playing with Nikita Kucherov on their wing against the Buffalo Sabres. So like I think they're clearly the top plays. Um, but I don't know if you need to play both of them together.
yeah. No, I don't know. I just miss the glory days when Tampa Bay players were egregiously underpriced, and now we're looking at them both as just like, how can you possibly afford it? You know?
Yeah, I mean, you used to be able to play a guy like Domestikov and be like, yeah, it's combined, whatever. But now Domestikov himself is 6,000, and it's almost kind of crazy to think about playing Vladislav Domestikov at 6,000 coming into the season. But yeah,
Yeah, I know.
obviously for the top plays, Victor Hedman, he's not a fantastic daily fantasy asset, but he is in play given that he's not even the most expensive defenseman on the slate and probably has the best matchup among defensemen. But again, just a guy who I never really tend to play myself. Are you looking at any of these depth Tampa guys? I mean, Braden Point's been incredible all season, but he's priced up. Like
Yeah, I
anyone
know. That's
here,
the
like
thing. It's like it's really hard because
really,
none of them are just making me feel like they're priced fairly for what I think they can do. I mean, even a guy like Sergachev, who I really assume would be just that value defenseman that you could plug and play sometimes. He's at 4-4. I don't think he's that valuable with the minutes he gets. I mean, I just think he's a really good DFS build type of guy, but I don't know. I really don't know how much I'll have from this game. It's just like Tampa Bay on the road in Buffalo. It just doesn't really excite me from like a gigantic onslaught perspective. I mean, I'm interested in Ristolainen just because of his blocks plus shots in his last two games since he's been back. Um, I don't know if you played him against Edmonton like I did, but that 9.5 definitely helps.
that was fun.
That was fun. And like he's 4,700. Like he's what, 300 more than Sergachev and just gives you such a better floor. So, I mean, that's pretty much the only guy I'm really considering in this game. I don't even know if I just don't plan on stacking it in GPPs personally. Like I don't think it's a bad idea, but you're really going to cut yourself at the knees if you stack Tampa one, and I wouldn't suggest stacking anything else.
Yeah, I'm very much in the same boat as you. Just simply the prices don't make sense on these guys in terms of like cash game viableness. Um, Interesting name to keep in mind is Alex Killorn. He's playing that first power play for Tampa. Did a huge 5-on-5 role, but last game did manage 18 and a half minutes. Pretty solid when you consider that he's only 3,700. Like, that is one of the best Tampa Bay exposures without, like you said, kind of cutting yourself off the knees. And a decent way to kind of stack, like, say him and Kucherov and just say, with Kucherov doesn't need to have an explosion game, but if he puts up a goal in 6 shots, maybe Stamkos only has an assist in 2 shots, and you can kind of get away with hating a guy like Stamkos. And Killorn makes for a reasonable exposure play without, going overboard. Yeah, for me, I would love to play Jack Eichel. I think his price is more than reasonable at only 6,900. There's just a ton of good plays here that I don't think I'll be tempted to do so myself, especially because I really only want to play him as a one-off play anyways. And I think this is kind of more conducive to some stacks that I'm really liking to this point. So
Yeah.
yeah, Risto is actually a very strong cash play, I would say myself.
Mhm.
4,700 does not match basically what he does. Like he's on the ice for 27 minutes a game. He shots, block shots, outstanding on the power play. And, Tampa's not going to let anything come easy, but we just saw the Pittsburgh power play absolutely shred them to pieces last game. I think they put up 3 power play goals on Saturday night alone. So there's certainly some merit to playing a power play stack in Buffalo because they're all so cheap. But that is all I'll say about that. And we can just move on to Vancouver, the Islanders.
Yeah, definitely. So what are our initial thoughts on this game? I mean, let's just take a step back. I mean, we know Nick Leddy's price has gone way, way, way up. He's almost touching $6K, but does he warrant that at all, in your opinion? And I can just let you start.
Yeah, who else is priced way, way, way up is Matthew Barzal.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we talk about a player and like that just increases their price by 1,000. I think that's it.
I mean, I don't see any other way to see things other than that.
That must be it. So this guy Scott Mayfield, should he be priced up? I mean, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm done now. We have to somehow make it work back in our favor. Like Kucherov's way overpriced. Bring him down 2K.
Yes, no, I totally feel you there. Well, what we should really do is be prepping for 2 slates in advance and just kind of like drop hints in the next few podcasts what we want to see on next Tuesday. Those guys, but anyways,
we inception them.
Yes, I will digress there.
Okay, we'll digress.
So yeah, I mean, the Islanders have a lot of. So the Islanders have been pretty solid. I saw a really interesting breakdown of. I'm not going to go into depth here, but basically, like Columbus last year, one of their Twitter guys kind of came up with like not a joke, but like almost like a farce of some sort, and they called it real legit wins. And it's like you can only beat a playoff team, and you can only have a PDO below 100, and like basically it just means that you dominated a good team. And because people were saying like, oh, Columbus hasn't beaten anyone good last year while they were winning like 17 in a row or whatever. And essentially what it shows is that like the Islanders are like one of the top 3 teams in the league this season in terms of like beating up on good teams and like playing well and everything else. I really like this Islanders team. I think that I think that they are going to be a playoff team. I want to say I had them in my playoffs.
Well, I was the only one that predicted that, I feel like.
What? The Islanders or Columbus?
No. Well, no. I'm saying, like, I predicted the playoffs, and you guys just made fun of me.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
like,
well, I mean.
But did I have... I feel like I don't remember now. I'm going to look if I had them or not. I don't know if I saved it, because I know I had them above the Rangers, and the Rangers missing. And, like, I think you talked me out of having Carolina and putting in the Islanders before we did it. So I am going to go out on a limb and say that I had them in there only because I want to be right. Okay, perfect. Go on.
Yeah, so like I said, it's been a while since we recorded. And last time we recorded, guys like Josh Bailey and Matt Barzal were also value plays. Now it's not so much. I mean, Josh Bailey is 5,800. Like you said, even Nick Leddy is priced through the roof. I don't really think there's a whole lot to love here. I still have a modicum of respect for what Vancouver's doing. They're definitely not a good team, but they're really tampering the pace down.
Yeah.
And I just think with all the options on the slate and with the Islanders priced way up, I do not think that they're a fantastic play either. I'm looking into the Vancouver because I remember seeing something about Brock Besser being separated from Horvat. It doesn't look like that lasted too long last game. Like, it looked like they spent about half the game apart, and him and Berchi were Mistrov. But the power plays did stay intact. So I would say that both Horvat and Brock Besser are the 2 top plays there. However, like I said, I think the Islanders are a pretty strong team, and there's not a whole lot to love here. So do you have a top play from the team that if you were trying to pick a one-off that you would recommend?
Oh, God. I mean, like, I would be definitely, I just know this sounds super, like, come on, man, but, like, John Tavares is just so good, but he's so expensive. So, like, I had to really pick someone. I mean, who else is even, like, I just can't imagine trying to pay that much money for Anders Lee. Like, I don't mind Anders
No,
Lee, but come on.
I feel you
And
there.
then
A guy that
oh, sorry, I'll let you go.
well, I'm just gonna cut you off and then go to the next team after I say this. But I think Alex
Okay.
Edler is a very strong play. He came back from injury. Let's see now. It's actually been a while. Oh, I guess it's been a long time since we did a podcast. But like maybe 2 weeks ago now, and all he's done is just put up solid minutes and huge floor numbers. He's reinstated himself on that first power play unit for Vancouver, and at only 4.2, I just think he has like a 3-point floor, and he has very, very strong offensive upside given that power play exposure. He's the type of guy who can go out there and block 7 shots in a game and not kill you, even if his team gets murdered. And like I said, I think he's good enough offensively to where, he's kind of like Ristolainen, and where he can have monster games without doing exceptionally well on offense. So I think 4.2 is a very reasonable price to pay for a guy like Edler, who I just think is a strong DFS play all the time. So that's my one-off. So let's just go to Florida at the Rangers. Some sadness is that Evgeny Dadonov looks to be out for over a month with some sort of shoulder ailment. The game, actually, it might be finished by now and posted on HockeyViz. But to replace Dadonov, they had penciled in Dennis Malgin. But unfortunately, Malgin only played 13 minutes. And interestingly, on the power play, someone named Haapala played on the first power play in the place of Dadonov. But neither of those guys played any sort of decent minutes. So, there is some value there, but there's also just, nothing that I'm really interested in except for like total punt situation. But do keep it in mind because there are some decent punt playing alongside the exceptional duo of Huberdeau and Barkov in a pretty decent matchup against the Rangers team that struggled all season defensively.
Yeah. So in the Rangers' last game, do you know which defenseman led them in ice time?
Well, it wasn't Ryan McDonough because he went out, I believe.
So
right?
hold on 1 second. Like, this player is walking by right now. Let me just turn him around so I can read his last name. Okay. So that's an S, a K, and a J next to each other. So I'm gonna say nope.
Nope.
If anyone hasn't seen the Chance the Rapper video, yeah, that's worth a watch. But yeah, it's Brady Shea. I by now I'm guessing everyone listens to this podcast had to have come across that, right? Like, that reference should probably land.
I would hope so.
Yeah, if you haven't, SNL did a skit where like they had a guy that normally does the Knicks game reporting on hockey, and it was really, really funny. And Brady Shea was involved. But yeah, the guy had 28 minutes, power play time with Nash, Miller, VC, and Hayes. I mean, not the top unit, but still, he's 3.8K. Yeah, like 28 minutes still at that price, and like he does shoot the puck, and I like his DFS upside. Like, what are our thoughts here? We gotta consider this guy, right? Even against Florida, or is it because it's against Florida? It's like, I mean,
I certainly
out.
don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that. Do we have confirmation that McDonough is actually going to be out?
No, I don't think. I'll try to keep looking, but okay. I don't think so. I was more looking at Florida because he started talking about Florida, and since I didn't play tonight, I really didn't look into them tonight at all. So I didn't realize any of that stuff. So I started reading, and then I got really distracted from going to the Rangers stuff.
All right, yeah, it does not seem like. Yeah, I would not expect McDonough to be back at all. So yes, Brady Shea is a very strong play. Picking up that second power play, like you mentioned, with playing Shattenkirk 5-on-5. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in love with the play just because, like, he's very steady. He's not anything flashy or anything, but he's a very strong play, and probably, arguably, like, him and someone like Vlasic are probably your two, like, just kind of rocks down here at the high 3 range. So,
yeah. All right. So I feel like we've covered the Florida side decently well, but was there anyone else? I mean, yeah, like there's value options, but I feel like those are with at least a grain of salt, I'd say. Like, or however you want to put that. But that I feel like that's gonna be something to wait for in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I um I don't really have much else to say here. Like, I'm just not a
Yeah.
big fan of playing the Rangers like
No, me
all that
neither.
often.
Like
Uh,
I don't like going against the Rangers with like top lines because I feel like they just don't do a good enough job. And with McDonough out, like it kind of makes me definitely considering this top unit. Um, and I always consider Trocheck every single night. Maybe 6,300, but
I,
I
he
always keep
scored
him
again
in my head.
on
Yeah,
Monday.
proud of him. So, but then again, you got Florida on a back to back, and the Rangers probably going to slow the pace. I don't even know if that's even true, but they'll.
I am
But
dying. I just looked. William Carlson is 5,008.
hmm,
Rest in peace,
interesting.
daily fantasy hockey. What has Vegas done to you? Okay, let's just move on. San Jose at Philadelphia. Hey, DJ, that's what
Oh,
happened since the last time we recorded a podcast.
did Brent Burns score a goal?
Brent Burns scored a goal.
I don't
That's
believe it.
insane.
No, no,
Um,
no, he didn't.
no, he did. I actually didn't see it with my own two eyes, but it's right here. It's right on paper, DJ. Look at it. Look at it.
Nope, that's wrong. I'm pretty sure that. Wow, Tim Heat's price went way down too. Okay, sorry. He didn't play a
Yes.
couple of games. Oh wow.
I think he's been like a scratch, so
Yeah, that's crazy
it's
though.
not
He was
all
like,
that matters.
yeah, okay, sorry. That's just like noticing all these things. I literally barely like. I was so consumed with like family and food and
Weird.
alcohol and mainly beer that I just like didn't have time to like look into things. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just not gonna play it. Kind of a nice little break. And now I'm like looking, and man, I don't know what has happened. What happened, TFS?
I mean, well, one thing that's happened is in San Jose, they really switched up the power play unit. Um, so we've essentially gone to splitting the units, it appears, because they split apart Thornton Pavelski and then Burns. Burns is playing with Couture and Hurdle Donskoy, so that 5-on-5 unit, and then Danny O'Regan as their like I guess their one-off play as the power play, the first power play.
Mhm.
Um, really intriguing because I mean Thomas Hurdle is someone that I'm pretty sure we've been talking about all season. It's like
Oh yeah.
this guy can just get power play time, like he's going to be phenomenal. Very strong, great shooter, just super talented. And now that he's playing a good allotment of minutes and power play one time, um, he's a very strong play against a Philly team that I think they've now lost 7 games in a row, almost all of which have been in overtime. So it doesn't quite look that bad. But still, they're simply not good on defense. And a guy like Hurdle can certainly rack up a huge night for sub 5,000. Um, I think a stack of that line along with Brent Burns could really be a sharp, a sharp tournament stack. Um, I will be honest though, I'm not seeing playing Brent Burns in cash. Um, the San Jose goals numbers have been pretty dismal all season. And yes, the percentages will turn for Brent Burns, but we're not talking about a guy who's going to put up like 3 points a night or anything like that. And at 6,800, you're kind of looking for a guy like Erik Karlsson who's going to be like a legit threat for 3 assists every night. And that simply doesn't seem to be the case with Burns, given that his minutes have really fallen um, as of late. And obviously, that the power plays are just so out of whack that I don't think you can really rely on him to rack up his normal, like, 4 to 5 fantasy points just on shots and blocks alone. One more note before I throw it over to you, Deej. Over the last 10 days, Brent Burns has 6.2 shot attempts per game. A guy like Alex Edler, who I just mentioned, has 6.4, and a whole host of cheaper defensemen have more than 6 shot attempts per game over that span. So it's not like Burns is doing anything ridiculous. So that's just all I wanted to mention. That I don't really think Burns is all that great at DFS play, despite what we were saying early on in the season. Just because now that we have a solid 20-something game sample size, he's not all that different from the other defensemen, and he's still priced up above all of them. So that's really my main.
it's just a sad day to go anti-Burns, but I mean, he's not Brandon Montour, and I have to realize that, and I guess got to move on. You know, I think the tide could turn, and I'd like to be on that train when it does. But right now, I think this team is in general is bad. I mean, they had a good outing against Winnipeg last time, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on this team from like a big upside scoring perspective. So I don't know. I mean, another note was that Timo Meyer was with Thornton and Pavelski last game on the top unit, but got no power play time, which kind of blows my mind. Like, why is this guy not getting power play time? And I mean, you have like O'Regan and uh, Bodker.
Yeah, don't
Like,
talk
what,
about
what, you know what I
Bodker
mean?
like that.
I don't even mind Bodker. Were you saying O'Regan's good?
I mean, sorry, didn't Danny O'Regan play with Eichel at BU? Or am I
Oh yeah, no, I
mixing
think
that up?
yeah, no, that's the right. It's got to be the right guy. It's got to be
Yeah,
the right
no,
guy. I mean, I don't mind it,
yeah,
but
no,
I'm just saying,
they're
like,
buddies.
just Timo Meyer is like really, really, really good. I mean, I bet at 3,300,
Oh, for sure.
he
I don't.
might have
Yeah,
he might have the most shots on goal, and probably shots plus blocks of any player in the league. Like Price, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I mean,
At least
even
shots on
last
goal,
year
but
he was like super involved. Just get you that floor, like 1.5, 2 shots every night.
yeah,
He's right back at it again with 3.5 shots per game over his last 10, just with only 13 minutes of time on ice.
yeah, and he
You know,
21 years old. Like he has, and his shot's good. Like it just, I mean, what he's shooting this season a 3.8 shooting percentage. So that's
yeah,
not
that
good.
seems
I
bad.
mean, that seems like something that could go up. And if he's gonna be out there with Thornton, who doesn't shoot, then someone has to shoot. I know Pavelski might, but like I don't mind Timo Meyer at all tomorrow. It's not like a lock, but it's a pretty. I think it could be a sharp take. I mean, you're looking at like Pavelski at 5'7" and be like, oh, this guy's in play. He has 62 shots on goal, and then Timo Meyer at 3,300 has 53 on the year, and his shooting percentages is. I mean, actually, Joe Pavelski's really low too, but that's not really the point here. The point is, I think you're getting like a pretty decent value on the top line, just no power play time. So if that does switch, that would be really nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally agree. The Philly side, I don't really, I just don't really have much interest in targeting them on a back-to-back. So let's just gloss right over that.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I
Michael
mean,
Raffle has had a couple really strong games in a row now. I mean, not even including the Pittsburgh game where he scored an absolute highlight reel goal. He played 16 minutes and then 17 minutes with 6 shots on goal, 5 block shots, and a goal in the 2 Islanders games most recently, and then had a huge night against the Penguins night. So 3,100. I would not be surprised to see him play a pretty significant role, but that's really the only guy I would just take like a speculative one-off flyer on.
yeah.
You
I
have
mean,
anything else to say, or Carolina Columbus?
yeah, we can move on. Flyers are what 0-3-5 now in their last 8 games.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
have.
yeah,
It's
it's
just like a
crazy.
team that has been very bad. I mean, they're back to back at home, but I don't know. I'm just not riding high on this team at all right now. So I'm not looking, and they're just so kind of one dimensional as far as their lines go for DFS purposes. I mean, I don't mind, uh, what you said about the one depth player, but can you really stack this team unless if you're going with the top unit?
Yeah, I just don't think so. It just
So
does not seem smart to do so.
yeah,
So
I'm down to move on.
yeah, Carolina at Columbus.
A lot of guys priced really high compared to where they were.
Sure. I guess actually on the Carolina side, you could be correct. For me, I'm actually kind of more looking at the Columbus side, despite this being a back-to-back. Uh, but I guess I'll just start with the Columbus news and notes. Over the Thanksgiving break, actually, I think maybe a little bit before Thanksgiving, Port put together some nice little line for us to kind of chew on for a bit. Pierre-Luc Dubois is centering Artemi Panarin and Josh Anderson. I believe Dubois had a pretty big game Monday night as well, which is really disappointing because the last time he played, he gave me a easily 0.5. But anyways, um, uh, Josh Anderson is leading the team in goals right now, and
Normal.
that's not seem optimal. But again, like I was about to segue myself into, Columbus has been so good here, um, and they've been riding Bobrovsky to a lot of victories. But even so good at 5-on-5, they have the league's worst power play by both goals per 60 and shots per 60. Like, it is simply not working for them. And yet, they still have a number of guys who are producing. So, there's kind of two ways you can read that. You can read, like, you can't play a guy like Cam Atkinson at 6,100 if the power play is just completely anemic. Or on the other hand, you could say, like, well, geez, like a guy like Atkinson or, cheaper guys like Dubois and Bjorkstrand, like, they're producing at 5-on-5, and they haven't even scratched the surface of what they can do on it if their power play gets going. So, I'm really intrigued by all of these Columbus guys, and I think you have more of an affinity towards Carolina. Did you want to talk about some of them?
No, I was just surprised at how priced up they were. I wasn't really. I mean, I don't know. I really like Jacob Slavin as a defenseman. Like I know he's not really a DFS guy, but he just almost. I think he was second in the NHL in takeaways and like way above any other defenseman. So I wonder who they're going to try to get him out against, because I am actually like afraid to play against him if I know he's kind of going to eat up a lot of minutes against top units. Is there anything that you would want to say about that?
Not really. I mean, Columbus is like at home, and they have their own sort of shutdown pair themselves in Seth Jones and Zach Werenski. I will point out, just for the sake of clarity or whatever, that Columbus did roll out new power play lines as well. So on Monday night they played so Jones is what I would consider to be like the top unit with Panarin and Atkinson, but they pretty much split time between units of Atkinson, Anderson, Panarin, Jones, Lino, and then Jenner, Milano, Dubois, Bjorkstrand, Werenski. I mean, you look at that, there is so much value there, and there's a ton of minutes to go around for these guys too. I mean, Pierre-Luc Dubois played 19 minutes on Monday night, and like I mentioned, like he had a really strong run of games up until then. So
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I'm almost just more one. I don't know. I'll let you finish, I guess.
My point is that I think the production has been really spread out for Columbus. So I don't really think that they're, even if they could, because of the road matchup, like I just don't think that like targeting line based on projected matchup is really worth anything. Because I think at 5-on-5, this game's going to be pretty up tempo, and you're really just relying on like a fluke power play goal to really kind of like get you over the hump. And for Columbus, it's been an issue. But at the same time, like I said, there's definitely two ways to look at this game. On the Carolina side, that William Skinner, Derek Ryan line, you mentioned that a lot of guys have priced up. That line has had two exceptional games recently, and they're still priced, well below the, other unit, I would say, in Teravainen, Aho. Falk is still cheap, but he's just one of those guys who I think is always going to have good underlying numbers. And I'm not sure if he has the talent to be like a 40 to 50 point defenseman, given the current construct of the Carolina team. That even though they've been better, it's not great at scoring. So, yeah, I think for me it would be that Skinner, Williams, Ryan line that I would target first and foremost.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I think just yes. What about defense though on Columbus side? Jones, Werenski, either or. I mean, Jones has been really, really hot. Werenski, I feel like it's been so super hit or miss each night. So, would you be down with the Seth Jones love that I was about to give?
Would I be down? Yeah, I mean, I guess shameless plug. If you haven't yet, check out. I do an article about once a week on Fantasy Labs. I did mention Seth Jones in my Monday night just because I thought he had a pretty strong floor, and like I said, the power play is really hit the click, and he's still been producing. So I think that it's a reasonable price. I do think on this bigger slate, there's a lot more cheaper options than there were on Monday night. So I wouldn't necessarily like focal point Seth Jones, but if I had to pick one, I would certainly go with Jones, and I do think he's a very strong play.
Okay. Was there anyone? I feel like you mentioned a lot of guys from this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think behind Toronto Calgary, this is my favorite game.
Yeah, I like it.
Obviously these are two of the highest like 5-on-5 shot generation teams, which I think is the main part in what I look at process wise. So, anyways, let's just move on to LA at Detroit. I'm sure I'll be mentioning that last game again, come the end of the show. Yeah, LA at Detroit. No thanks.
Yeah, this is a very large pass for me. I'm trying to imagine like what I'd want to do here. Is there anything I'd even want to do?
I mean,
I can't imagine.
Cancel the other 9 games on the slate. I am not sure who I would play. I might just unregister.
I really don't know. Wow, this game is ugly. And like even guys that are like, well, maybe because like they've been doing well, so maybe I should look into it. They're just priced up so high.
Okay, Anthony Mantha. Again, plays for the Detroit Red Wings. 900, and he's at like his last 5-game low. Like just no. I mean, I think the last time I said that was against the Sabres on like a 2-game slate, and I was just like, LOL, no, I'm not paying these prices. And Larkin had like 17 shots on goal or something ridiculous. But
I think it was 25. I was kidding, but yeah, it's like Mantha for 59 or Cam Atkinson for 61.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't really seem like much of a question to me. I don't know. There's just a lot of better options at that price.
Yeah, like just absolutely not. And then, I mean, the Kings side, I mean, they've been completely lethargic. So
yeah, kind of come back down, just slowing the pace. I mean, I always like Tyler Toffoli. He's like just one of my guys, I guess, but I don't really love him in this matchup on the road in Detroit. Just feels like a total fade. I really don't even want to give suggestions.
Yeah, total fade. Don't suspect that there'll be any news that'll change value or anything like that. So I'm good to move to the next game, Chicago at Nashville. Yeah, I mean, this is another game that I don't love. I mean, I'm currently watching a game between Chicago and Anaheim that is 6-3 with 16 minutes in the game. So it's certainly, that's certainly going to catch some eyeballs. But, I think I respect Nashville a lot more defensively than I do, a corpse of Anaheim, basically, which, by the way, still managed to put up 3, probably a 4th on Chicago by the time this one ends, the way it's going.
Yeah.
So, I do think Nashville's a pretty strong play again, but, I'm not sure that I believe Forsberg is someone that I would move mountain for, especially in cash games, just because his shot floor has been kind of low. I mean, have you been following the Kyle Turris saga in Nashville? Like, he has been okay. I mean, he's not doing anything special, but something like that kind of interests you, like maybe targeting the step lines of Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, I never mind doing that. It's definitely a way to save a bit of money. I don't know. Kyle Turris is not a cash option. I feel like you're taking him and you're stacking him and you're hoping that they produce a couple goals that can get you over the edge. So I don't hate it. But it is not a bad way. So Fiala has been with him, right? That hasn't changed, correct?
Fiala's double check that, but
when was that? Have they just not played in forever?
No, they played yesterday afternoon.
Oh wow! Yeah,
I'll just read off the line real quick.
I totally missed that game. That's why.
Yeah, it was Turris, Fiala, Smith, and then the Jofa line stuck together. Yeah, I mean nothing too outlandish. I don't think in any of their usages. They've been using Yossi and Subban together on the power play. It seems like last game their only power play was a 4-on-3, which kind of seems to.
No, I know. I was about to say it looks like they had a unit of 4 out there at one point, and you covered it.
And I don't think there was anything else to speak of. So, yeah, that was kind of.
Turris and Fiala were both out on the same power play unit when they ran 5. The second power play unit for sure. I mean, it's an option. I definitely think it's an option. But you know what's going to happen the moment you run Fiala and Turris?
Explosion from Ryan Johansson.
Ooh, that was not what I was going to say, but very close.
Oh,
I feel like you would be all over this. Isn't this the guy, Craig Smith, that just always gets all the goals for Nashville when you play? I thought that was like your thing.
You missed. It's Colin Wilson.
Oh my God, it's Colin Wilson. Yes, okay, you're right. Wow, man, that's why, because they got rid of him, so I wasn't even thinking. But yeah, I mean, it's in play, and especially with Chicago on a back-to-back in Nashville, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm down with it. I feel like I'm higher on Forsberg than you are. He's really priced up. Like, just really, really good. Like, this floor's not maybe as much there, but that line gets so much action.
The thing for me is at this price, you have to be either a best option on like a bad slate, like so basically like going against Arizona or something that's really high Vegas total, or you have to be one of the best volume producers in the league. And as great as Forsberg's shot is, he's simply not an Ovechkin like, or even a Voracek, Hoffman. Like those are the only guys that I really spend up for in average matchups. Just because I'm so dependent on volume for my lineups personally. I think that's the easiest thing to predict. Like obviously, someone like Philippe Forsberg is more likely to score on each one of his shots than the average player. But I'm just looking for a guy like even Evander Kane who's going to put 5 shots on net for every 2 that Forsberg does, and that's just kind of the way that I like to accumulate my points and hope that it all comes together, on a single night. So I just think
really,
price it's really difficult for me to kind of rationalize playing Forsberg.
Yeah, I feel like this slate's lacking that like top value plays that normally can get me to get a guy like Forsberg with another kind of higher volume guy. So it is going to be tough. But
the Columbus Blue Jackets.
That's like besides them, I guess they have some value there. Okay.
Yeah, I mean I think they'll be pretty low owned too, so I'm really excited about that. Anyways,
Chicago side.
Well, I was about to say, the third line's an awesome night. I think the Brinket has a hat trick now. I think Patrick Kane has 3 backdoor assists, which is pretty good.
Pretty good hockey.
So it seems like they're going to roll the second, or I guess the Kane line's going to be Kane, Schmaltz, and Anisimov. I really liked Anisimov when he was mid-4s. Now that he's in the mid-5s, I'm not a big fan. But he's certainly been pretty solid and could always have a big game playing alongside Kane. But again, the price just doesn't make that much sense. I just would not be one of the people who chases that DeBrincat, Sharp, and I'm actually not sure who the third guy on that line is, but they were the line that really, I think they have like 5 goals between them now and a bunch of assists. That's just really not where I want to go for my value, just because I think that they don't have a firm 5-on-5 role. They don't really have a set in stone power play role, even though the Brinket is on that Taze unit. Just not really the type of point chasing I want to do on a slate like this. So,
all right, that's fine.
So yeah, let's maybe Pekka Rinne is the play after this showing. Rinne's been on fire as much as I love UC Saros.
Yeah, he's just not that priced down. Like I 7-8 like on DraftKings. I thought he'd be cheaper, but then again, he has been hot, so what's got to be driving up his price?
Like super low owned.
No, he won't be.
Recency. Anyways, I think the game of the night is Toronto at Calgary. I think at this point you all know the adjustment I do for opponent. And over the last 10 games, adjusting for opponent, essentially doing well against a good team is better than doing well against a bad team. So kind of adjusting things like that. The 5-on-5 expected goals numbers have Calgary is the far and away top team on the slate, and then Toronto is the number 2. So, the pace for both of these teams has been super up recently. And, I mean, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but look at Sean Monahan's insane power play production. Like, if you're telling me that this is going to be an up-tempo 5-on-5 game, and he and Johnny Gaudreau have been, I mean, like I said, the expected goals numbers don't even take into account power play production. And, the power play has been insane for Calgary. Toronto, it's been kind of fun to see them, not even a tailspin, but in Toronto, they consider it a tailspin because they're not winning, 3 out of every 4 games at this point in the season. I just really think that Calgary could do something, some big damage to this Toronto team. And I'm looking forward to playing some Calgary guys tonight.
Ooh. So are you on that Monahan Gaudreau love, or are you looking at like Backlund, Tkachuk?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, like I feel like someone's gonna take this clip and just play it to me over and over and over again after Backlund has a hat trick. But like, that Backlund for Lee Tkachuk line is so good at 5-on-5, and so they do. I mean, I think we know at this point, Frolik is not on the power play with them, but Backlund and Tkachuk do stay together for like that second power play unit. But I mean, geez, I just can't say no to Monahan and Gaudreau at this point. I mean, my one problem with Gaudreau last year was that his shots weren't all that great. These last 2 games, he has 40 shots. I mean, even when you strip away the fact that he has 18 points in those 10 games, like, he's been really reliable in the shot department. So, I'm not expecting this to be like a crazy low-owned play or anything, but I really do think that, like, if I were to pick between Stamkos Kucherov and Gaudreau Monahan, like, I'm pretty sure I would side with the Gaudreau Monahan at this point.
All right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, I think it's probably like the better play, like, but with price considered, we're talking about the Chuck and Backlund way down, and you can get them two with Dougie Hamilton, all 3 of them below your average price, and that's a stack I will have. Like, Dougie Hamilton is still good. He had like a couple bad games, and his price went way down. He's still really good, and I will be playing Dougie Hamilton. So,
Jay, I respect you for sticking to your guns. I mean, really, you're sticking to my gun for me too.
Yeah, no, I just think that's
obviously
they're both good. I mean, they're both like really. I don't know. And then the thing is like I'm not going Monahan, Gaudreau, and Birdie, but then again, Giordano's been on that top power play unit too, and I don't mind him either. Like, I think it's like he only has 8 points, and I know that's not great, and it might turn some people away, but he's very, very talented in my opinion. And maybe the goal numbers aren't going to be there this year, but he has just as much good of a chance of scoring as Morgan Riley at a higher price, in my opinion. If not better.
Really. Yeah. So I mean, I would not consider it all that. I mean, it's simply not crazy. I don't think to play like Gaudreau Monahan, and then add a defenseman like maybe Giordano or Dougie, and then go with like Backlund and like Chuck, because you're not spending all that much, like, relatively speaking. And there certainly is like legit 7-8 goal. Like, this game is a 6 over under in Vegas right now, and I'm gonna guess the over is gonna be absolutely piled on. So this is really a game that I'm looking to get a ton of pieces towards, and I don't think that like a Calgary onslaught is the worst play you could possibly make. But I also really like the Toronto side here too. Like, don't let the fact that we're Buffalo Sabres fans, like, oh, we just hate Toronto. Like, no, I think the pace in this game is what makes all these guys such fantastic plays.
I think you're a homer.
So like AVR has been priced up a good amount now, but like that power play has really seemed to be taking over as the JVR power play unit seems to be taking over as their main power play. That could be because Matthews missed some time with his whatever ailment he had.
Soreness
And it's
from
very,
trying to carry the team.
yeah, general soreness or whatever he had, and it does vary from game to game. Um, but I do think JVR is a decent GPP play. Um, you know, these guys for Toronto are a bit more priced up than I would like, but I still do think that or Matthews, Nylander, like they're also very great plays and kind of make this like a game stack of sorts and just turn this game on and hope for some fireworks. Man, I cannot talk tonight.
No, yeah, no, I'm really struggling too right now. Like I feel like I'm about to fall asleep, but I'm gonna grind through that. I literally just took a moment there where I like shut my eyes because it's been a long day. But I'm definitely in on that JVR Marner stuff that you were talking about. Is that what you said? Did you say Marner too or no?
Yep.
Like I know the
What I
minutes
said,
aren't super
JVR
duper
Marner.
there. Oh, what?
I mean, yeah, the reality is they just might never be there. Like, just the way the team is constructed. And they've still been relatively productive. Their prices aren't terrible. I mean, it's certainly GPP only.
Yes.
Again, I'm kind of looking at this more of like a GPP game stack total manner. And
No,
I
I know.
do think that Matthews is going to get the severe 5-man unit treatment of, Backlund and Dougie and all those guys. And they're still very, very fearsome.
And then
one of the few
the
lines
Kadri,
I'm going to avoid.
I know matchups aren't like the only thing that matter, but in my opinion, it'd be pretty rough to go with Backlund, Tkachuk, Dougie, and then bring it back with Matthews, Nylander, or whatever, because they're going to be on this against each other. So like, they both can't score on the same shift. Well, I mean, I guess they could, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes, no, I totally get it.
So you might look on the other hand to say Kadri, Marleau, Komarov, but then like, what do you do? Kadri with Komarov? Like that'd be insane. And they're going to be primarily focused on the Monahan-Gaudreau line. So it's like maybe if you want, you could say like I think the Matthews line, if that's what whatever brings you to, then you probably want to try to get in Gaudreau and Monahan if you wanted the other side of that for a full game stack. If that makes sense. And then JVR Marner, I feel like would end up taking on probably Bennett, Jankowski, and Yager. And I think they could really dominate them. And they do have that upside if this game gets a little bit penalty happy on the Colorado. Oh my God, on the Calgary side. So I think there's something to say about them all out there. And if you went with like Backlund, Tkachuk, Dougie, Marner, JVR, you're really still saving yourself a lot of cap. And you're getting a lot of exposure to a lot of good lines who won't probably face off more than a few minutes against each other. So that's just one way of thinking about this game in a little bit of a different fashion.
Yeah, to kind of build off that point, if you play someone like Komarov, playing with Kadri at 5-on-5, he's actually with Matthews' unit on the power play. I don't agree with it. With that said, I mean, it's certainly worth noting because he's super cheap at only 3.2. I think last point on this game, what the hell happened to Jake Gardner? Remember, he was the apple to our eyes.
For like one game.
Wrong. Well, not our eyes, but like, Toronto, like whatever. He's 3.7. Just hasn't really done all that much. I mean, hey, back-to-back 5-point daily fantasy games, I guess, is good.
I mean, you're looking at like Gardner versus Shea, and I don't mind. I guess I don't hate Gardner, but I don't love him, and I think Brady Shea if McDonough's out is just a better play, same price.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like that. His price.
Well,
like, it's
he's
almost forcing me to consider. Like,
yeah,
it's almost forcing me to consider Jake Gardner, but I know the second I do it, I'll ruin it for good old Cedar out there. So
yeah,
I'm not going to do it.
No, don't do it. That's the better. I mean, Zystev's the same price.
For you.
Is Zystev like he's off the power play though, isn't he? Is that he's off the power play. Yeah, he's
power play.
Yeah, no, he's off that down. No, I saw that and I said it, and then I was like, whoa, that's not what you meant to say. If we really want to keep going on this game, how about Travis Hamonic? I thought he was supposed to be like the big. Okay, sorry, one Calgary fan, but we'll back off that. Yeah. And I don't say that because there's not Calgary fans. I say that because I doubt there's too many listening.
Yeah. Yeah, they're busy out mowing their farms or whatever Canadians do in the wintertime.
Yeah, I think
Counting their
that's probably
moose
already
or something.
something with how would you say moose plural?
Um,
Something with
it's got to be
moosei?
meese, right?
Meese? Okay, this is getting out of control here. But mainly what we're trying to say is that Hamonic is not a
Mainly
good
what we're
player.
trying to say is play Toronto Calgary, and let's move on ourselves to Arizona at Edmonton.
In the battle of the beaten.
The Battle of the Beat. That's a good one. So
Yeah.
yes,
So
last game, McDavid, Lucic, Camilleri was the line. Um,
is I
yeah,
need to go throw up. Excuse me for a moment.
like remember when the Oilers traded away Taylor Hall, Jordan Eberle
Nope.
because they couldn't score, and now they saddle McDavid with Mike Camilleri and Milan Lucic. Like, I actually don't know which one of those is worse at this point. Like,
Oh
just
God,
not good.
it's really bad. I mean, I don't know what McLennan, right? I'm saying that right. It's
Uh, Todd McClellan is
McClellan. I'm like,
the
I just doesn't sound right in my head. I know his name, but yes, I don't know what in the world he's possibly thinking with these lines. Like, they just don't look good at all. I don't know why you would try to like anchor McDavid, who's like your one true like. I mean, they just,
yeah, and
but we can't blame him completely. Being well, yeah, the coach being as the GM made all the trades, who also traded
yeah, right.
Sagan for yeah. So I mean, it's just really ugly right now. And I thought this would be like a really. I think I had Edmonton. I had them number one in the division. I know that because you were like, oh, it's Anaheim, and now we're both kind of looking like fools. Not that it's Anaheim's fault, but this is a bad situation, and I think they will end up rebounding a bit. But boy, I guess with all of this being said, I mean, we have McDavid and Lucic, line one and power play one. Would you consider it against a very, very bad team in Arizona?
Don't make me do it, DJ.
I just want to know. I just want to know if you'd consider it because, like, I'm not. I don't think I could possibly stomach Camilleri. Like, I just
All
don't
right.
think my body could allow
Yeah.
me to do
Well,
it.
honestly, I'm not really considering McDavid.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Think about the
that
think
felt
about the
really
children.
that felt really weird to say. I mean, I just think that Matthews is like in again a very up tempo environment. I think he's an awesome play. I think Stamkos is an awesome play. McDavid really has not been showing that shot floor that I was hoping that he had kind of grown into like to begin the season. Um, so I mean, just pretty much a fade here on the Edmonton side and the Arizona side. I remember when we were like, man, this Rekman Larson for Norris dream is so dead. Like, yes, it might still be dead, but my God, has he been outstanding for the last little stretch of hockey. Um, I mean, just simple cutoff last 10 games. He has 8 points and 50 shots plus blocks in that span.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they've won. Like, they're winning some hockey games now.
Yeah. They decided to
Canada,
win one and yeah,
maybe
they won
LA.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, and like here against Edmonton, who I mean just got embarrassed against the Sabres. Like certainly crazier things have happened than Arizona beating Edmonton tonight. And
Ooh.
Kevin Larson's been just a vital cog in that engine so far. So I really like him. And another name that I think is actually like a really strong value is Derek Stepan. Um, he's been separated from Clayton Keller. However, they're playing together on that first power play. And Stepan's been pretty strong shot producer. For a relatively low price center, like I certainly don't think he is a must play or anything. But when you're looking at these cheaper centers, like you're just not really finding a whole lot of value. I think for 4.8, you're getting a legit number one center in Derek Stepan and a great matchup, a great role, and I think he has a good enough floor for his price. So those are really the only two guys I want to look at in this game. Do you have anyone else that you want to mention? I mean, some of these cheap guys for Arizona, like Perlini.
There's guys on Arizona that if you really, really needed a guy to fill a role at 3K or 3.5, there's guys here, but I don't know, man. I'm not gonna stick my neck out for any of them. But I'm not planning on playing Tobias Ryder at 3.2. Like, he's in a fine role, but yeah.
Yeah. So
they do not give Declare any minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go on though.
Yeah.
Perlini is cool.
That one magical Declare game. I think he had a hat trick like a couple weeks ago.
But they just
weeks ago now.
10 minutes and like 4 on the power play. I have no idea what's going on there. But I'm not a doctor.
No, you are assuredly not a doctor, DJ.
So back to Perlini. I don't mind where you're going with that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, like, he's playing a very strong role. He's only 3.6. He stacks well with Stepan. He really just kind of, a cheap punt sort of stack. Them and Ekman Larson are super. I think there's a lot of upside there, and a great matchup for them. So that's really the main thing I want to touch on, is that they have a lot of cheap options at the wing for kind of to fit whatever you're looking to do with your team. Won't feel good, but I think it'll be much better to watch when you see that Arizona manages to dominate play against Edmonton, because this Edmonton team is terrible.
Oh God, never saw it coming. I mean, I feel like part of me always knew that it would never be good in Edmonton, but I didn't think it'd be this bad.
And I guess one more note: last game, Klefbom played 15 minutes. Days of him being their number one guy are done. Like, he just had a really down year so far. Like, he's getting that power play one, but yeah, don't expect anything from him until we see some of that good coach speak, where the coach is saying good things about his game and playing him more. That kind of kills his daily fantasy value if he's only playing 50 minutes, though. So, all right.
Next, let's get to the Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights.
Yep. Okay, are you gonna eat your hat yet about Vegas being terrible? Because I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I'm not ready. I mean, no, I'm not ready. They're not good. Like, win games. I don't care. I'm a Sabres fan. I don't even know what that is. So whatever. Vegas, you think you're cool because you won a hockey game?
Win all the games. Yeah.
That doesn't make you good. Look at PDO, bro. Come on, guys. Everyone knows where it's at. Vegas, is literally leading the Pacific, and like, Edmonton has 11 less points. Like, I mean, I just don't understand how this was. I mean, I knew they were leading the division, but like, I mean, they have like 2 games in hand on them and the next team below them too, the Kings, and 2 more points. Like, that's not right. I think the NHL is broken. But no, I think Vegas will eventually come back down to earth, and I think Dallas. I am really high on Sagan, but then again, he's coming off a hat trick, so it's like really sad because like he was finally hitting that golden area of like, I liked his price and he wasn't doing that much, and I was kind of waiting, and then he decided to like just poop on Calgary. So
for sure,
I don't think it's going to end up being that hot. Take.
Yeah,
go on.
Only positive that come from this Vegas, little run of games. Shea Theodore out there doing Shea Theodore things, and I could not be happier.
Ooh, Shea Theodore things. Now you've piqued my interest.
So let's see. So he's played now for the last 5 games. In those 5 games, he has played at least 20 minutes in all of them. Ooh. So there's a box you can check for a DFS defenseman. He has a goal and 3 assists. Pretty good for 5 games.
But how about them blocks with shots? How are they looking?
Over those 5 games, he has 12 block shots, and he has 13 shots on goal. So he's at 5 block split shots per game, nearly a point a game. Like 20 minutes a night. It's here, DJ. It's here. The Shea Theodore reckoning is here.
Theo code.
So yeah, I mean, against Dallas, which will play we know they play up tempo, should be fun. Like, he's certainly a top defensive value. Right in the conversation with someone like Brady Shea, who could have 3 to 4 minutes on him in projection wise, but I don't think is as like offensively talented. Yeah, I mean, that's really the main guy and the only guy I want any exposure to because, yes, Jonathan Marchessault is literally a GOAT, but he is 6,200.
That's bad. That's too much. You don't want to be paying that much.
I mean,
you do better. You know you can do better.
Like, he's not Johnny Gaudreau. Like, he's up here at 15 points in 10 games. Like, yeah, I mean, yes, he's a great player and all, but like, he is not that good. So I'll pass even a strong matchup. And yeah, I mean, the Dallas side, we saw Sagan do Sagan things last time out, so that's always a positive. 10 shots on goal.
Yeah, no, I know. He did what we always hope he does every night. But I mean, I just like his line right now. Him with Spezza and Janmark, like they're gonna like. I think Spezza is still like a good enough player to find him with the puck, and Spezza doesn't really shoot, so it just sets up nicely. And like that power play unit is just really quite attractive.
Yeah, I'm kind of focusing on the other part of that line, and Janmark. Like, they love Janmark down in Dallas.
Yeah.
He's playing a ton of minutes too, which is always nice to see. But like, yeah, like you said, I mean, Jesus, Sagan is pretty awesome. So getting the exposure to him through these guys is pretty strong play. You kind of want to sound the Julius Honka alarm because he's back in the NHL and playing.
I mean, yeah, that 12 minutes a night though. I mean, like, is this alarm sounding material? You know what I mean? Like, we can. That just seems bold.
Some people need to play for 12 minutes, Like,
yeah.
Some of us have. Sorry, Mom, not mean to make that joke on the podcast, but it's there, and
do what you must do. I don't know. I just don't know if I can stomach it. I mean, it's 2,900, and I would just really like to see more than 12 minutes a night. I know some of us be lucky, but you're out there 12 minutes, and he's not even producing though. That's the problem.
I mean, he's producing at my heart.
Yeah, I mean, he always does, but we're not there. We're not there. We're just not there. I'm sorry.
I think we've beat this horse to death. Let's take a quick second to gather your thoughts for 2 guaranteed goals and then your top 3 lines of the night. Maybe go like high price, mid price, and low price stacks that you are really digging. You think you could put that together in a reasonable amount of time?
Yeah, I probably could figure that out. I'll let you go. What do you want? So, do you want to do goals first, or do you want to do?
Well, just one more note. I just had to look up Honka's AHL stats. He's at 0 points in 8 games.
Yeah.
In the AHL.
Yeah. No, we're not. Yeah. We're not sounding the alarm. The alarm's not going off. I'm sorry, Matt. Like another day.
We have Shea Theodore, so all is well.
Yeah, Shea Theodore. So it's all that matters. Okay. Do I have my guaranteed goals? The answer is definitely no.
The answer is definitely no. So let me go with my upper price guaranteed goal and top line stack. It's pretty simple, but I'm just going that Monahan Gaudreau stack. I don't want Verland or whatever moron is on that power play with them.
Moron?
Just like complete idiot. Yeah, Michael Ferland. Like, no. Like, I'm not playing Ferland. I do not.
You're not Yager, right?
I mean, I don't even want to play Yager up there with them. Like, these two are just doing their thing. Like, whoever wants to jump on, like, go ahead. But like Brody, well, let's look at this more analytically speaking. The last game, yeah, we saw Ferland, Brody, and Giordano with them. That's really interesting if they replaced someone like Versteeg with Giordano on that power play, because obviously Giordano is like someone who I think is actually good. So, add Giordano in there for like a, maybe they'll correlate at 5-on-5, but also power play flyer on someone who is like actually good rather than Brody or Hurland. So I'll go with those two. You have any of your that you want to mention?
I have one, but I'd say it's more mid tier, I guess. I kind of like Couture and Hurdle.
Oh,
That Couture Hurdle stack action. I mean, I
you're
know
gonna
we've.
throw the Donskoy on there.
Am I gonna what?
You're gonna throw the Jonas Donskoy on there.
I mean, you could. I mean, they do all correlate together, but
they correlate at 5 and on the power play is currently constructed. So
it's there. I mean, it's there if you want it. If you're feeling like the hot takes need a little bit of heat, then you play it.
All right.
You know.
Better question. Brent Burns with them?
Oh God. I mean, you said only 2, so no. I think it's there. I mean it is there. Like it's not. It is definitely something to consider. That's what I will say. It is definitely worth trying to give it a good look over. You know, don't give up on it before you try it. Don't not get to try it. You know.
Right. No, I feel you there.
But then it's like upper place. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the thing is if you're trying to stack Columbus, then like it's got to be your mid tier. So I thought I could just set you up there because I thought you were going that route.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the power play from tonight, Monday night. Josh Anderson basically took the place of Alex Bjorkstrand, which I think makes this mid-tier stack pretty easy. It's Artemi Panarin, Josh Anderson, and Pierre-Luc Dubois. Let's see. I think I can just fit in Anderson for my guaranteed goal. Anderson, like I said, is leading the team in goals actually this season. And at 4.4, I just think that he's pretty, I think he's a very good play for the price, pace of matchup, etc. New power play 1 role. Hey, maybe the blind squirrel finds a nut tonight, and the Columbus power play gets on the board.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'll go Barkov, Huberdeau, and if you want to make it cheaper, Malgin is maybe an option. I need to look over things first before I confirm that. But my upper price, like I think Huberdeau, Barkov still pretty solid. Man, I don't even love that though on a back-to-back. No, I'm gonna stick with it. I like it. I do want to look into it more, but I do like it. Like I think the Rangers defense is just inept enough to make that them dominating possession all night very worthwhile to consider.
All right. And for me, I think I'll just stick to what I've already mentioned and go with that Stepan.
I knew you were going to do it.
Stack. I mean, it's not perfect, but I do think that they're a pretty strong stack. And I was gonna kind of look into like one of the depth Vancouver lines, the stack with Edler, but I don't feel as strongly about Vancouver being a decent play as I do about Arizona. And so, if you want to kind of veer into the mid tier, even though I still think it's a relatively low price stack in general, you can add in Oliver Ekman-Larsson for some added upside. And all right, your final stack before we close the show.
Cheap. I mean, is Backlund Tkachuk cheap enough? I don't even know. Oh man, there really isn't.
You throw in for a week.
Yeah, it's like really not that cheap. That's the problem. I don't know if there's any like cheap stack that I'm all over on this big of a slate though. I mean, that's the one that's going to get you the most like upside because they play out there enough. I mean, I guess we did mention Turris and Fiala, which would be a little bit cheaper.
No, I think that's cheap enough. I mean, Fiala's
4-1.
Yeah, 4,000 I think is pretty good.
It's almost splitting hairs though. It's like combined what? I don't even know. 9.2 compared to like almost 9.1.
9.
Right? It's so close. They're like the same price. I'd probably go Backlund over Ben Tkachuk and then mix in Dougie if you want that mid tier. But yeah, you know what? I'm not really gonna suggest a really cheap stack. I think all the really cheap guys that are out there are like not in my favorite matchups. Yeah, I'm too tired to think. Let's move on to our guaranteed goals. I have I mean, you gotta have Dustin Brown, and if you do have Dustin Brown, then you're really gonna want to jam in William Carlson. So I'm just kidding. You go first.
Talk about the worst way to spend $3,000.
Yeah, I know way too much, anyways. On top of the fact, okay. Okay.
All right, so I incorporated mine in the stacks. So I'm going Josh Anderson and Johnny Gaudreau.
Johnny football. Okay. Boy. Oh, yo, you there? Oh, hello?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My thing just glitched because I think I stepped on the power cord. So I totally lost you and everything. My computer's still freaking out. Okay. That was the schedule for the games. Where did that go? There it is. Okay. I'm back now. That was really freaking weird. I'll go with, I mean, I really want to say Sagan. No, don't say it. Who did I mention? How about the Chuck and
You had that Hurdle
oh
Couture.
yeah, wait, yo, Hurdle. Yeah, no, Hurdle. They could Hurdle and then I have what, like 6K?
Yeah, it's like 6 to mid sixes somewhere. Yeah.
I'll go JVR. JVR Hurdle. There we go. I mean, definitely off brand for me to take JVR, but like I'm feeling that JVR magic tomorrow. Like I guarantee I have him on there. Oh my god, I swear on my life. You can't hear this noise that keeps going off of my headphones, but yeah, I finally fixed it. Okay.
Yep. The voices in DJ's head are talking to him.
No, it's
time to shut this monstrosity down.
It was really fun. We gotta get back in the swing of things. I gotta get back to actually playing every single night extensively, and now that I'm finally calming down my schedule, I can like really be on top of stuff. I literally took like 5 days off.
Okay.
So we back.
All right. So be sure to check out our Twitter at One Escape Pod. DJ goes to in classes instead of taking notes, retweets useful information on pretty much a daily basis. Be sure to follow our individual Twitters as well. I always mess yours up, DJ. It's at DJ_Mitchell94.
That sounds right.
That sounds right. And I am at Fake Moods. MOODS as in my DraftKings name, and Fake as in that's Fake Moods for you. Check out our website, oneskeepod.com, and we have a group me. DM the Twitter account if you want to join the group me. Always a lit time in there. And all right, I think that'll just about do it. Man, we were out of touch today. But we'll be right back at it on Thursday morning, so tuned for that. And as always, if you have any questions or feedback, feel free to send us a tweet or leave a review, and we can get back to you. And yeah, appreciate you guys listening along. So for Doug, for DJ, and for myself, have a good sleep, everyone, and we will see you.